Okay, I don't know if y'all could see it, but so I was trying to dye my hair and it just didn't go my way. I don't know if it's because I usually dye my hair perfectly at my house because it's my house, and I did it somewhere else, and it just the way the process of it just didn't make sense to me because my roots were bleaching the most. So it was like the top half was bleaching quicker than the other half. Because I know the other half has like probably has had like years of dye that are still like attached to the ends. So usually when I dye my hair, I cut it. That way, like whatever I that's like bleached from the top is getting all the color, but it had its own ideas. So just imagine all this was like all blonde, right? It was bleaching. It was like an orange color. And then, obviously I was trying to do blue and my nails are paying the price. But hey, at least like it matches with my headset. So go in Zoom. But it all went to my ends, which didn't make sense because everything was bleaching from here upwards. So it just got brown. And then I guess it all decided to just go down to the ends. I mean, out of all the malfunctions I had with my hair, this is probably one of the top best malfunctions for my hair, if that makes sense. Because like my worst malfunction, oh my god, it was disgusting. It was so disgusting. I had to dye it black immediately. And usually, anytime I have a bad hair malfunction and it just isn't working with me, I go to black. And I was missing blue, but I guess blue wasn't missing blue type shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, midway, because like everything is a manifestation. Like midway, I was thinking about like not having my hair fully dyed, and I guess it showed out on my actual hair type shit. But it's late. I try to be on here as much as possible, and I'm so glad for those that like join the live, really communicate with me that aren't like towards the internet troll side and that are all towards like the wholesome cinnamon roll, which I love my wholesome cinnamon rolls. My wholesome cinnamon rolls are my tsunamis and my megadons. And yeah, I've been box dyeing my hair since 16. Yeah. My friend at the time, which was the longest friendship I've ever had, was like 8, going on 9 years. She taught me how to do box dye hair, but um, you could know how to dye your hair, but if you don't remember the history of your hair before you dye your hair, I feel like the easiest hair to dye is natural hair. If you're dyeing a wig, that's another story. But I feel like the hardest type of hair to dye is already dyed dead hair, which is essentially colored hair from a box, salon that's already been that has had essentially like your hair that has had previous histories of being colored and has been chemicals in it. I feel like it gets harder to know the history of your hair and like what layers your hair is currently at and like where the colors are going. And I was just like, bruh. So you're telling me that all that money went back to it just being brown with blue tips. Can I get a the process? I mean, it's giving 1990s JoJo. That's kind of why I'm vibing with it. Like I said, I was thinking about Aquamarine and the hairstyle they have. I guess my brain was like, why not do that? And I'm just like, that's took so long to do. I would be on the chair 2 to 6 hours, and I was trying to yellow it. Yellow it just got me blue tips and my hair back to brown. And I'm noticing how funny this is. Hello. Yes, I gained weight. What? There's a science to it. Okay. I gained weight so I can have nutrition. That way I can burn it. What? Thanks for gaining weight, I guess. Because muscles need something to eat, aka something to burn in order for your muscles to grow. It's like a contraction, push or pull between the muscles, right? And when you're malnourished, you start to lose your muscle gain a lot. So if you're like, I could have sworn I was like bulking, I could have sworn I was like for men, these men, for example, right? They say they're working out more, but they're sacrificing their nutrition to stay thin. But that's also taking nutrition from your muscles to contract and burn off of anything. So I see a lot of guys working, right? Working out at the gym and like their most so like the thing with bulking and slimming, two different things. Very two different things. If you're not bulking the way you want to bulk, what type of nutrition are you giving your body? If you're slimming more than you're bulking, that's a nutrition issue. My friend likes to say it's micronutrients, which he is right. It is micronutrients. The slimmest I ever been, I had a starving because I was avoiding nutrition. I wanted to slim, but I gained weight, so my muscles in specific areas would have something to gaining weight paid off because my lower body, even though it's all kind of going to my stomach, like I'm getting compliments that my thighs are thicker, my ass looks fatter, which ain't right. Made the tummy slim and the ass get fatter and all of it. So yeah, this dude who has always called me ugly for the first time ever. I'm sorry. Fuck this. I should have just pushed this. So this dude who like has always told me I was ugly, bro. He has never liked my figure. Ever. Never. Never, 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 never. And the reason why is because like, ooh, I don't blame him. Your girl did not have the body she's working for right now. Flat as a pancake. In the titties and the ass. And I said, fuck him. The girl did what she had to do, which was two things, bro. Two things, bro. Two things. There's two things. Actually, there's three things. There's three things a woman can do to make that peachy. One, work out. Two, two and three are kind of homies. We're adults here. It's called getting clapped. He wasn't clapping, so someone else was putting in the work with me. Alright? So, two, getting clapped is mostly for like buttocks. I have a reason why doggy is my favorite position. It helps grow the peach. Why? You can kind of guess why. Now, boobs, it's recommended that women get pregnant if they want to go a size up. Because guess what? Baby helping you out. I don't really want to go into depth, but it's like, it has literally been proven time after time that if when a woman gets pregnant, she does go up a cup size. She goes up a cup size. That's only if she's breastfeeding. That's only if she's producing milk. So there's that. I don't have kids, so I did the other two. He's like, your ass is fat. I didn't want to tell him it was two. It was a mixture of one and two. So ladies, if you're doing one and your boyfriend's bitching about one,
then you should tell him he needs to get to work and help him on too. Now, if you find yourself a dude that don't want to help you on too, you go get yourself a new man and a new gym crush. It's called replace immediately, and that's what your sweetheart had to do. Because bro, like, let's say you have a partner that's so unsupportive of your fitness journey. Why would you want to keep having that type of environment around you when you're trying to be the best version of yourself? You want a partner that's sexually into you. You want a partner that thinks you're gorgeous. You're going to want a partner that supports your journey and that is sexually active with you. Because the number one reason a lot of people cheat is because they're not sexually active. And that's why a lot of couples therapists are like, when was the last time, y'all did anything? When was the last time y'all even hugged or touched each other? I noticed the couples that go to the gym look the best, are definitely way more active than the rest. And what? They have something in common to go do. For me, I wasn't ready to go to the gym today, so I'm recording because I'm trying to be consistent and disciplined online too. I maxed out the other day. My thighs are sore, my buttocks are sore, but it was worth it. It was so worth it because this dude stopped me mid life force and was like, "That ass is fat," and I said, "It's just gonna get fatter." Amen. Amen. Yeah. Trust me, if I wasn't sore, I'd be doing abs right now. You know that feeling when you go to the gym and you haven't been in the gym in a while? Your muscles pay your repercussions of not staying disciplined. And so you're like chilling for like a day or two resting. But then if you don't force yourself on the third day, just say goodbye to your results. Because at that point, it's like fourth day I didn't go to the gym, fifth day, seventh day. And that's why like most people who have the results of the body you want go every day. But that takes time to let your muscles rebuild up to that momentum of intense workouts. Because if you just, let's say you haven't been to the gym in years, right? I did this. Let's say you haven't been to the gym in years and you do it back to back. Your muscles, well, first of all, I'm just warning you now, if you max out on day one, you're going to get Charlie horses. You might pull something. You may burn out to the point where your day's down. I have the saying, if by the third day you're not back at the gym, just say goodbye to your discipline. Just say goodbye to your streak. You didn't mean what you said. Not one bit. So like for me, I'm like reverse engineering on what I did to get complimented this. And honestly, I need to thank my girlies for teaching me how to properly squat. I realize form is way more important than how many times you're doing it. The moment I got my form right and I took my sweet ass time on form alone and slowly graduate different levels of repetition, different levels of types of squats, lunges. Oh my god, lunges burn, but they do the job. And then lots of stretching. Because look, if you don't stretch, you are gonna pull a muscle. It's literally the first thing you should do at the gym is stretch. Stretch everything. Second thing I do is I go into cardio. Why cardio? it automatically wakes up the brain, the heart, and like all your nerves and sensors throughout the body. That, and you start to get your first, I like to call wind of encouragement to keep working out. I do cardio for 8 minutes. It depends on my health if I'm at 8 miles per hour. Yes, last time I was here, I was at 6 miles per hour because I really do think like I'm not holding down my food. It's I'm just not holding down my food. So I wasn't trying to push 8 miles per hour. Then I was gonna vomit every time. My ear is not trying to do that. This is literally me journaling like my fitness journey. So lowest I've been was 150. I gained weight because when I was at 150, I had that issue where I'm slimming and my muscles are gone. So what was all that bulking for? Type shit. And listen, bro, I shouldn't have fucking listened to the advice I was getting because they were essentially telling me to starve myself. And so I lost all my muscle mass. I'm slimming, but it's not showing in my face. It's not showing in my ass. It's not showing in my arms. And I'm just like, I was severely weak. I'm like, okay, listen, starving is not the way to go. Um, it's just not. You know your body best. You know how your body reacts to carbohydrates, to protein, to fat. Not everybody reacts to the same elements of this food chart. And then you also have to think about health issues like, are you diabetic? You're going to need more sugar or less sugar than most people. Or like if you're vegetarian, the way you bulk is not the same way as a carnivore bulks. You feel me? And then there also is metabolism. Some people have faster metabolism, some people have slower metabolism. Mine's slower. So me burning fat takes way more time. And so like I'm doing stuff. This is like my fitness journey. Welcome. I'm just talking to you about like where my fitness journey has been. So like I know I have a slower metabolism, so I try to eat stuff that like pushes my metabolism forward when I come to work out. So like I'm having protein in my smoothies. The best days at the gym are filled with the smoothie king. I make sure I don't eat anything after 7 the day before I go to the gym. I make sure all in my system is water and a smoothie filled with a fuck ton of protein. Pineapple, pineapple's gonna wake you up. Bananas is like gonna smooth out the taste of the pineapple. That way, like it's not super acidic. Like when you're working out, and the protein. Oh my god, it takes like 30 minutes for my metabolism to finally digest the protein. So I usually am staying at the gym for like 2 hours, just waiting for like the first 30 minutes to pass. But by that time, I'm stretching and like slowly waking my body up. So that's how I work out. And then after cardio, I go into upper body. That way, by the time I get to squats or abs, I'll just be focusing on the middle. That's me at least. Not everyone's the same like this. That's that just has always worked for me. Ever since I did that, instead of like going up to bottom, when I went full body from top to bottom, that just didn't work with me. I couldn't keep up with it. By the time I was done with up, um, like with upper body, I would be too sore to even run because my chest is taking all of the pressure of all that upper body I did first. So like I start having noodle arms when I work out. I can't even hold the bar for squats at that point once I start with arms. So I switched it up. I went from bottom, very top, then middle. Because by the time I'm done squatting, running, dumbbells, chest presses, lawnmowers, my by the time I'm done with that, my legs don't want to move. Okay, my arms don't want to work as hard. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'm coming down from like my third or fourth high. So I do what's it called? What do I do? I do ab crunches, but it's like on a machine that like holds you. That way, like you're not having to move your legs or your arms as much. So I do ab crunches, and my goal is to be able to do sets of 100 without breaking. But there's levels to it. You have to and my goal is to get to a pull up. But my first goal above all of those goals first was making sure my peach was peachy. You feel me? I wanted that ass. I wanted that ass more than I ever wanted an ass in my life. And it was my own ass. I hated being a pretzel stick, flat, a flat pancake. It was not cute. It was not cute. I have no idea how I had a boyfriend during those eras of flat pancake, no having ass hurricane. No idea how my game was, especially when I was chubby and a pancake. But I didn't understand that. And no, this isn't me self-deprecating. A win is a win. A win is a win. A win is a win. But I definitely get more attention being less heavy. I was nearing 200 pounds, like in middle school, which was like the biggest red flag for like my doctor, my coaches, and my teachers. They're like, you need to start shredding leg. I'm like, okay, all right. I need to cut up my donut loving friends. I need to stop doing concession. I need to stop putting myself in environments where I'm gonna be tempted to eat. But I also need to be in environments where I'm eating enough to not go anorexic, to not go slim, to go into bulky, but also not to go into chubby. Because I guess this is chub, but this chub, this level of chubbiness is fueling this peach. And I don't know the science to explain that. But it's Greek god. I'm gonna call it the Greek god phase for women. But I definitely want to go more towards the athletic build where there's like no stomach whatsoever. I don't want to be anorexic, but I also don't want to be chubby. I don't want to be obese if I am chubby. So like right now, I'm avoiding obesity, but I'm also trying to bulk and not fall into the slim category. I think the most eye-opening thing a human can do is learn how their physique and their physical world works. That is definitely very rewarding when you are mentally already strong, emotionally already strong, spiritually already strong. I feel like physical achievements, especially with your physique, are going to be the most rewarding, proud thing you'll ever have. Because your spiritual knowledge is constantly going to keep growing along with your mental and emotional. I really like that. This is something, the gym is something you can control. No one's going to take the gym away from you. No one's going to take your physique away from you. The only person who could like really sacrifice everything you work hard for is in physique is you. If I could redo life, I wish I would have stayed never smoking because that did cause my physique. I wish I didn't hang out with obese, obsessed foodies. Like they're literally eating to be obese purposely, to each their own, but that was the worst decision I ever made because that obesity affected my visits with my doctor. And sometimes at one point it did affect like my sexual libido of being obese. I wasn't attracted to anybody, not a damn, because I didn't feel confident. I was really heavy. And the food that you're eating like could really mess up your organs, which I learned the hard way. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. So I had to stop eating out. And if I was going to eat out, it had to be very specific what I ate. Extremely specific what I ate. And it also depended on like how much time am I going to be spending outside. How far away am I going to be from the kitchen? How far am I going to be away from food? Should I meal prep this day? Should I meal prep that day? Should I eat one full heavy meal? Or should I eat light meals throughout the day? Or should I not eat at all because I was too busy binging the day before? You always have to pivot with how much you eat. At least that's what I do. Because this is definitely the most confusing stage I've ever had with my physique. Because I used to be severely obese. I went to slim. Then I went to Chubbs. Where I'm currently at. I've always wanted the athletic build. Always wanted the athletic build. But then life kind of altered me where I'm like, if I go for the athletic build, I don't get to enjoy my genetics of being a Latina, which is like super curvy. So then that's where like I was like watching so many videos, reading so many books on like genetic coding, how like different families have different types of body features. So like let's say your family is known for having a big booty. Girl, count your blessings, girl. Count them. Not everybody has genetics. Some people have to pay for that, and some people is okay, have to work for it. And then for breasts, someone told me this myth when I was younger, and I wish I did take it seriously. But apparently, the sooner you start as a woman doing upper body workouts at a young age, like before puberty hits or around puberty hitting, that improves the likeliness of you having healthier breasts. I was like, fuck. Because like I was chubby around that time. Like your girl was insecure as fuck. And sometimes I think I'm still that obese person, but I remind myself now more than ever that nah, you a bad bitch. All those years of training, I bet it's I don't know. I just find it funny. Very funny. I don't know, bro. The thing about me is like once you have shown me you enjoy disrespecting me, I can never find you sexually attractive. Ever. That's just me. For like if you make jokes that are like passive aggressive and like mean shit, I'm not gonna love you anymore. If you question my physique in the stages of like me earning my physique, I'm not gonna love you anymore. I'm actually going to avoid you with the plague, and I'll probably be very heartless too. Extremely heartless. Because, like, that mindset, as a woman, I think about it way more than people should. Like, what do you mean? I don't want a partner that's judging my physique, because then you're gonna be the same asshole that judges my fucking kids on every little thing they do and not give them their flowers when it's time to give them their flowers. And who would love someone who knows how to read energy and and has morality? Come on, guys, like, be honest with me. To everybody live in the chat, would you want somebody who supports your physique journey or somebody who's constantly criticizing it? We all know the right answer. You're going to want someone who supports you. And so, like I said, throughout time, I had to cut off a lot of people who wasn't fully supporting me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the physical side of earning my physique. I'm currently at between, I'm 168. So I dropped 40 pounds. And like I said, the lowest was like 150. So I got 10 more pounds to like remove to gain back my status of where I was. But like I said, I noticed when I went to 150, I started slimming. And I didn't know where all my results from bulking went. Then I later realized it's because of my nutrition. Whatever I'm doing nutrition wise right now is fueling my glutes. And so I recommend, if you are going to do this, to like try to get like your glutes together, or like your physique in general, you need to journal what you're eating. And I'm like, okay, what have I been eating? I've been eating eggs. I've been eating steak. Okay, those are two clean proteins. What else have I been doing? I'm eating more fruits, more veggies. Okay, cool, but how much of that proportion is that actually going into the muscles and the fat tissues that genetically it goes to and biologically it goes to? You are your greatest puzzle in regards to physical workouts. I'm going to repeat that for the back. You are your number one puzzle when it comes to figuring out your physique. Not The reason why I say that is because everyone assumes they're all the same puzzle game, and you're not. You're not. Y'all all have different health conditions. Y'all all sweat differently. You all burn calories differently. You all digest differently. You all have different heights, different weights, different capacities for certain things. And just like the moment you realize what have I excelled in and what are my weaknesses, oh, and then that's the game changer. For me, I knew my strength is my lower body. So I'm like, okay, that means I have to focus on upper body because I've spent too many years on lower body. And then once I learned that it was really my form when it came to my lower body, the cake started growing. Tears on top of tears, the cake. There was this one time that I pushed my physique a little too hard, and it was during the slimming era. I wanted to push for 10 miles per hour, and I had ate the most trashiest of fucking food. I do not recommend ever coming to the gym after eating a bunch of oily, acidic food. Just avoid it before going to the gym. Just avoid it. Because that's why people start getting bloated and they start vomiting. And I heard of it in my whole way. And then I had to like discipline myself, and that's when like the 7 o'clock time frame came. But the 7 o'clock time frame only happened when like I stuck to a routine for months to years. eventually, life happens and stuff changes, and like your schedule will start to change with like your jobs, your new hobbies, your new life. And so sometimes the old routine you did, getting to a certain level, no longer works. And one of the best examples of that is your reps. I think a lot of people forget when they're at the gym, if the first level, excuse me, is easier than ever than when you started from day one, it is time to add weight. If it is like paper to you, you need to add more weight, because the gym is all about resistance and endurance. So if you're not pushing to your max, then what's the point? You're not going to get stronger. And the reason why you're not getting any muscles is because you're not willing to add more weight, to add more restraint, to add more endurance to your capabilities. Which, by the way, I love this quote. I forgot who says this quote. It's definitely personal development. Hold on, let me think. He's like in the spirit realm, like giving me the best sauce right now. What did he say? It's Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor like preached law of attraction, but he also preached. Let me search up the 12 universal laws. I guess it's a mixture of law of cause and effect, law of attraction, and law of, what's it called? Compensation. I feel like it's this one. Okay, here we go. This one's way. If you're a gym rat, I feel like you're gonna love this universal law of most. It's called the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That is what the gym is. That is exactly what the gym is. It is the law of perpetual transmutation in active daily movement. The gym is perfect if you want to understand what the law of perpetual transmutation is. Now, let me educate you. So, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy is driven by the law of vibration. The perpetual movement of energy underscores the fact that energy is continuously. Hold on, I'm mute. My eyes are kind of burning from the malfunction. So, it's driven by the law of vibration. The perpetual movement of energy underscores the fact that energy is continually changing form in order for growth, transformation, and evolution to take place. Whether on a universal scale or in our personal actions, nothing stands still. We have the capability to shift stuck energy, all right? That's why I love this fucking law. Because I told you, there was a point in my freaking workout routines and my physique where I got stuck. I got stuck. And I was like, okay, where am I getting stuck at? Where did I fuck up? What did I do? And the only way to get something unstuck is to give it motion. Let me repeat again. We have the capability to shift stuck energy patterns by infusing intentional shifts through our interactions. Even small actions can have immense consequences when repeatedly leveraged in a particular direction. See the miraculous progress that consistent positive energy creates. And then this is why I was like, law of cause and effect. For every action, there is a corresponding reaction, a ripple effect of energetic consequences. This universal law deals in both the physical and spiritual realms, as our actions generate reactions and establish karmic forces. By understanding that our current situation is the effect of not only our past deeds, but also our prevailing mindset, we can consciously orchestrate new outcomes via new causes set into motion. Every choice bears some result. We must take responsibility for our part in manifesting our own life. And then law of compensation was like another one where I'm like, okay, I guess I could relate to this. So, inherited vibrational frequency encoded with everything is the cosmic intelligence that harmoniously balances all energies. For every expended effort or deed, there is an element of equal compensation, seen as a sort of universal balancing scale. This law provides equilibrium to guarantee justice. Those who abide in service to others are rewarded, though not always immediately or tangibly, but at some point you will be compensated for your past deeds. Have faith that those living from the heart and prioritizing spiritual values over material gain will ultimately receive abundance in right proportion. And then there's this last law, which is if you know you're that type of person who has always gone the distance, always overachieved, regardless of how fucked up your life took a fucking plot twist. And oh my god, I'm supposed to cry, but fuck that. The law of perseverance is definitely one of the 12 laws you definitely like and you could relate to. And if you feel like someone needed to like understand this law to understand who you are as a person overall, tell them the law of perseverance. Let me explain it. The cosmic forces may support us, but never do they work for us. Having perseverance means dedication, determination, and persistence to continue on, no matter what hardships we may encounter. Anything worthwhile generally requires struggle before success. Continuing on, we will feel like quitting tunes us to the grand orchestration as we self empower and patiently wait for the seeds we've sown to bear fruit. By continually applying ourselves to our aims, we gain unyielding spiritual momentum. Through passionate perseverance, our goals crystallize. I like how he said that. Their goals crystallize through perseverance. I'm gonna tell my kids that shit. Dad, why you like Krista so much? The law of perseverance, my child. I was not expecting to go about this with you. Um, but I wanted to give you more of my time too, and I'm just making sure my friends are everything going well. Yeah, but I definitely wanted to give y'all more of my time. I wanted to share more about like my life journey when I came to the gym. That way, you know, when you see me here, like I do have goals. I really do. For me, it's definitely upper body, but as above, so below. I ain't trying to look out of proportion. But my computer is about to die. It's at 7%. And I think my phone is fully fast charged. So I'm wearing the jeans. So I'm not trying to embarrass myself wearing jeans and that shit rips. Because then I would have to wait till morning to go buy some new pair of pants. Because most stores are closed. And I don't want that. So I'd rather just sit this out, let my friend do their thing, and chill. I'll be right back. I love you in case something happens where I don't. Bye. Like, share, subscribe. I love you.